Hey, hello sexy people. How are you guys doing today? Are you all awesome? If you guys have purchased any of the camos, let me know what you do think about them. And I do realize that this game is on grind, and I posted a game of play on grind yesterday, but literally every single game that I joined was Yemen and frickin' slums, and I have so many gameplay on slums. I was like, no, I can't do it. I can't play another game on slums. So I was just happy to actually play a map that was not Yemen or slums. But as you can see, I'm using one of the new camos, and this gameplay is pretty nice, if I do say so myself. I went on a little bit of a tear in this gameplay. This is the Party Rock camo, and I am using it on the MSMC, and the reason I decided to put it on the MSMC is because it's one of the guns where the purple and the zebra print also show up instead of just the purple. So yeah, that's why I decided to use the MSMC. And I did say yesterday that it sucks after the patch, and I do still stand by that statement, but I would say that it sucks with a silencer. If you take the silencer off, the gun is a beast like it always was. So Treyarch, damn it, you will not stop me from using my favorite gun in the game. I will find a way. But that is not what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. I mean, don't get me wrong, I hope you like the gameplay, because I freaking loved playing this game. But I wanted to talk to you about eras of gamer. That sounds really weird. Eras of gaming. Because it sounds like I'm saying errors, but I'm talking about a new era. Eras of gaming. Like, what used to be popular when I was growing up and what is popular now. So as I was growing up, the main genres of games that really had center stage in the spotlight were horror and RPGs. So Resident Evil, Final Fantasy, the Tomb Raiders, all that kind of stuff. But horror, the horror genre seemed to be a really well-focused and very, 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 very popular genre. I would say, how old was I? I was between the age of 8 or 9, so I'm 23 now. You guys can figure out how long ago that was. But that time seemed to be the age of the horror genre. And it was just awesome. You had Resident Evil, you had Silent Hill, and that seemed to be what sold. People really loved the horror genre. Now, in these times, I would say that it is the era of the shooter. Every game wants to be a shooter. FPS games are taking off. They're like one of the most played games in the world. And it just seems to be very shooter orientated. And you can definitely notice this by the fact that games that used to be horror games, Resident Evil, are now action shooter games and have no elements of horror left in them at all. Now, you guys know that I love my Call of Duty. If you do not know that by now, then you must not know me. But I do not want my Call of Duty creeping in on Resident Evil like, yeah, be an action shooter, yay! I don't want that. I love horror games, and I'm using Resident Evil as a big example just because I absolutely loved that game. I used to go to school, and in English class, every essay that I would write will be set in Raccoon City. There will be a Redfield and Valentine family. That's just every essay that I made had some kind of Resident Evil reference to it. Now, 1 through 3, in my opinion, were like the Resident Evils. Number 4, I know that a lot of people really, really, really enjoyed 4, and it was a good game. But when I played that, I just kind of was like, I felt that this was the downfall, you know, because it was like half and half action and horror. And I was just like, it's not that scary. It's a little scary, but it's not as scary as it used to be. So for me, that game was like the beginning of it turning into more of a shooting action game. And number 5, oh lord. Number 5, I played that game for like an hour and I was like, what is this? This is not scary at all. I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I'm just fighting like crazy people on drugs that have stuff popping out of them. That's it. It's not zombies, it's not horror, it's just action. I don't care about action. There's so many games out there that do action. So many of them. Do what you're good at, Resident Evil, Dead Space, Silent Hill. Do what you're good at. Don't try and be something else. And now, guys, I know. I understand that when you have a franchise that has been going on for a really long time, you always want to keep on reinventing yourself and bringing something a little bit new so that people aren't just like, oh, this is just the same old, blah, blah, blah. Even though I would be perfectly happy with the same old, to be quite honest with you. But I know that they have to constantly keep reinventing themselves. But this is the problem. When you start getting 4, 5, 6, 7 games into a franchise, it becomes really hard to reinvent yourself but also stay true to the core game and gameplay and mechanics that made your game such a success. And I feel like Resident Evil and Dead Space and Silent Hill, games like that, Alan Wake, can you imagine if Alan Wake went action shooter? That would be terrible. But games like that made their mark and was so popular for being scary. So you have to always keep that in place to be a successful game. Resident Evil? Come on. But anyway, this is turning into a Resident Evil horror rant, which I didn't want it to happen. But what I wanted to ask you guys and kind of have you think about is that right now obviously is the time of the shooter, but when the next gen consoles come out, do you think that that will change? Do you think the shooters will take a back seat and something else will come to the forefront? And I think that it could. I just want you guys to picture this for a second. I don't know how many of you have heard about the Illuma Room on the Xbox 720, but basically it projects the game onto your walls so that it's surrounding you. Can you imagine if a developer made a horror game and just had like creepy stuff all around you, and stuff would like slightly move on your wall and you're like, what's that? That would be amazing. That would be so amazing. Please do it, somebody, please. But let me know in the comments, guys, if you think that a new genre will take over the shooter, and if you do, what genre do you think it would be, and what genre would you like it to be? Let me know that as well. And watch this kill cam right here. This is the noobiest dog I've ever seen. He got like 2 hit markers before he got the kill. What a noob. He's a noob. But anyway, guys, I hope you liked the video. Make sure to give me all your comments, and I'll speak to you guys later. Bye.
Operation complete. Nice job, squad.